we're good here. I'll run this. What's up? I'm good. How are you? Let's see here.
All right, welcome everyone. We're going to start tonight's meeting with a little special presentation. We have the Franklin Regional Wrestling team. Had an absolutely amazing year. Went undefeated for the season, state champions, and Mayor Dice would like to do a proclamation for them tonight. He was called away, so I'll be doing that for him. But we just wanted to introduce everyone to our Franklin Regional Wrestling team for this year, and as a community, we're super proud of you. So I'm going to read the proclamation first. The proclamation of the Mayor of the Municipality of Murraysville, Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania, Franklin Regional Wrestling, May 6, 2026, proclamation number 231-26, honoring the Franklin Regional Wrestling team. Whereas the Franklin Regional Wrestling team has demonstrated exceptional athletic excellence, discipline, and teamwork throughout the 2025-2026 wrestling season. And whereas the Panthers completed a historic and undefeated season with a perfect record of 22-0, exemplifying perseverance, determination, and competitive excellence at the highest level of interscholastic athletics. And whereas the team achieved extraordinary success by capturing the section championship, the WPIAL championship, and the PIA Class 3A team state championship, securing their place among the premier wrestling programs in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And whereas this championship represents the program's third PIAA team title, further cementing Franklin Regional's proud tradition of wrestling excellence. And whereas the team's success was the result of a total program effort with contributions from a talented roster of student athletes, including standout leadership from upperclassmen and impactful performances from the entire roster throughout the season and postseason. And whereas the Franklin Regional Wrestling team has exemplified the highest ideals of sportsmanship, hard work, resilience, and unity, serving as role models for both on and off the mat. And whereas the accomplishments of the team reflect the dedication of the student athletes, the leadership and guidance of the coaching staff, and the unwavering support of families, school administrators, and the Murraysville community. And whereas the Franklin Regional Wrestling team has brought great pride and distinction to the municipality of Murraysville and stands as an inspiration to future generations of student athletes. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Dane Dice, Mayor of the municipality of Murraysville, do hereby recognize and commend the Franklin Regional Wrestling team for their outstanding achievements during the 2025-2026 season. Be it further resolved that the municipality extends its sincere congratulations to the entire roster of student athletes and coaching staff and offers best wishes for continued success in all future endeavors. Be it proclaimed that May 6, 2026 shall be recognized in the municipality of Murraysville as Franklin Regional Wrestling Team Day. In recognition of their remarkable accomplishments and contributions to the community, in witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the municipality of Murraysville to be affixed this 6th day of May, 2026. Congratulations, guys. On the screen, you'll see some pictures and some things that we had put together for this team. I just wanted to run down through the roster. What a team effort you guys have had. You can see the accolades that some of the individuals had throughout the season, but you guys just in total as a team. We have Sal Colangelo, Bo Fennick, Connor Visnick, Lucas Klein, Titus Colangelo, Keller Marriott, Sal Nassif, Roman Valero, Chase Smith, Max Firestein, Cohen Bucione, Mikey Ruane, Andrew Leopold, Othman Bukabar, Nick Elzier, Jordan Perks, Ethan Cartwright, Evan McManus, Bug Marion, Caden Farrell, Ryder Perez, Johnny Montgomery, and Dylan Corso. And I'd also like to recognize the coaching staff. They had some great achievements this year, obviously, as a team, leading this team. But Coach Leby was the PIAA Coach of the Year. Coach Sill was the PIAA Assistant Coach of the Year. And you have Coach Mike Ruane, who is the state champ booster president for wrestling. So,
Strength coach.
strength coach. So, guys, seriously, you've made the community proud, and I think a lot of young wrestlers are going to be part of this program just due to watching you guys do what you do. So, congratulations, and thank you to all the families. I know it's a lot of dedication and a lot of time that everyone spends doing that. So, we're very proud of you, and thank you very much. Here you go. Let me jump in here. We'll grab a picture. All right. Thanks so much, guys.
Great job, guys.
Yep.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job, man. You guys did a fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Absolutely. Congratulations, guys. Good job. Thank you. Nice work. Great job. Nice. Yeah, we invested in last year. Yep. Congratulations. We got some. Good job, guys. Great job.
Good job, man.
Yeah. He's a bigger guy, like 189. Yeah, he's good. He's really good. He's good. They have a really good team. They were a really good group of kids.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, how you doing? I'm good, man. Other than my kid being a pain in your ass.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congrats to the wrestling team. They did a great job, and I'm glad that we were able to have them here tonight. That moves us on to, there was on the schedule for a public hearing, Mike.
Call the public hearing.
Okay. So we have on the schedule a public hearing for the transition of liquor license number R16586 from 1240 South Main Street, Greensburg, PA, 15601 to C&M Hospitality, LLC, 4425 William Penn Highway, Murraysville, PA, 15668. At this time, I'd like to place several procedural matters on the record.
I apologize. I don't mean to interrupt you. I can give you a brief rundown before you address that. That'll kind of lead into it. Now that the public hearing is open, Michael Nestico on behalf of the municipality. The public hearing concerns the application of C&M Hospitality, LLC for the transfer of a liquor license number 16586 from 1240 South Main Street, Greensburg, to the proposed premises located at 4420 William Penn Highway. The public hearing notice itself indicated 4425, and so I believe that as council president will have an update as to the relevance of the address difference. But for purposes of this public hearing, the applicant indicated that the proposed establishment will operate as a full-service restaurant concept similar to the existing Coast and Maine operation that we're familiar with in Monroeville, specializing in prime beef, seafood, handcrafted cocktails, and wine service. The applicant represented that the proposed premises will include approximately 100 seats, including outdoor seating accommodations, and approximately 40 employees anticipated to be working at the establishment. Initial operations are expected to include dinner service, Sunday brunch service, with lunch service anticipated to be added at a later date after the operational startup. Their proposed hours of operation at the outset are Monday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday 4 to 10 p.m., Sunday brunch from 10 to 2, followed by dinner service from 3 to 8. The property was previously utilized as a restaurant space prior to the later occupancy, which was a real estate office. And the applicant indicated their intent to return the property to a restaurant, which that use is subject to all required approvals of the municipality. But due to the address discrepancy, I'll defer to the council president to address the procedural matters in this situation. The applicant is not present, nor is their counsel. However, based upon the outcome of the procedural matter, it is anticipated that they will be present at the continuation of this hearing if so approved.
Okay. Thank you, Mike, for clarifying that. So at this time, I'd like to place several procedural matters on the record. Following the public hearing notice for the application, the municipality was informed that the notice contained an incorrect address for the proposed licensed premises. The notice identified the proposed transfer location at 4425 William Penn Highway. The correct address is 4420 William Penn Highway, Murraysville. In order to ensure accurate public notice and preserve the integrity of the hearing process, Council has determined that the matter should be continued and re-advertised using the corrected premises address. Accordingly, no testimony or evidence regarding the merits of the application will be taken this evening. Before continuing the hearing, I'll ask whether any parties present wish to offer procedural comments regarding the application or the proposed continuance. Any comments at this time shall be limited solely to procedural matters and not to the substantive merits of the application. I'll open it up if there's any comments that anyone would like to make. And seeing that there's none, the record should reflect that the continuance is made solely for purposes of correcting the public notice and ensuring full and proper notice to the public regarding the proposed premises location. This hearing will be continued to Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026, subject to formal public notice requirements. Thank you. That closes this public hearing.
And I'll just add, for the sake of council and the public, that the applicant was the one that provided the wrong address, and they indicated they would cover the cost of advertising due to that mistake. So municipality will not have to pay for the errant advertisement, and we'll get a new date advertised, which would be June 3rd. The reason for that date is because municipal code requires a 14-day publication window, and the next council meeting is 14 days as of today, so we wouldn't get that done in time. So we're pushing it to June 3rd, provided that council's in agreement with that, and the applicant has indicated that they would be available and present at that time.
All right. Okay, that is all in regards to the public hearing. So now I can call this meeting to order of the council Wednesday, May 6, 2026, on our regular voting meeting. Okay, let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Riddell, can we get a roll call?
Mr. Olszewski,
Here.
Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Lemax,
Here.
Mr. McKenna,
Here.
Mrs. Lane,
Present.
Mayor Simon, or Mayor Dice.
That happens. All right. That moves us on to announcements of unlisted amendments. Mike, any unlisted stuff?
None for this evening.
All right, none for this evening. That moves us on to consent calendar items. Can I get a motion for the approval?
Motion to approve consent calendar, items letter A.
Second. All right, thank you, Jamie and Matt. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that motion passes. All right, that moves us on to comments by Mayor Dice.
I do have a couple slides here to present on behalf of the mayor. Bear with me as I pull those up. The Slam Fish Derby is taking place. This is taking place on May 16th, 2026, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., ages 15 and under. SLAM is a registered charitable organization. There will be hourly prizes and local food trucks. To donate or register, the QR codes are listed. You can also find us on the Murraysville Recreation website. If you do have any questions, you can reach out to SLAM. Their email address is murraysville.slam@gmail.com. If you have any difficulty communicating or getting in touch with anyone, feel free to contact the municipal office and we'll guide you in the right direction. And the second item, the last item, is Extinguisher Clutter, an event being held by Sardis Volunteer Fire Company on May 16th from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Community flea market and craft market, which is open to everyone. Food trucks and coffee trucks will be present. If you have questions, please reach out to sardisvfc.events@gmail.com. Again, any questions, reach out to the fire company. If you can't reach anyone, you can always contact the municipal offices. We'll help you get in touch. So that is all for the mayor's slides for this evening.
All right, thank you, Mike, and you can continue. The next one is going to be comments by you.
Just a couple brief ones. Public Works has been rather busy. They are doing the concrete work at Sardis Park. That project should be wrapping up soon. Additionally, if you're out at MCP, they are working on the water line out there. The water line project is going to help provide more pressure for the splash pad and the other amenities that are up there. So that'll be, I think, an improvement for the splash park there at MCP when they do finish that water line. The crack sealing taking place on Old William Penn is to be taking place this week, weather dependent, so they may be out there now, and the project actually may have even wrapped up today. I didn't get an update as of this morning, but that project is taking place to do the crack sealing. And then finally, probably the more pressing item from a staffing standpoint or administrative standpoint is we continue to run into issues with the Moxie Pest Control Company that is canvassing the town. We are getting calls at the municipal office about the folks from Moxie knocking on doors, specifically knocking on doors of people on the do not knock list. We continue to reassure those folks that they are on the list. The solicitors should not be knocking on their door. The problem is this particular company is not obtaining a solicitation permit from the municipality. We do have trouble kind of tracking them down. The police department has been made aware of the issue. They understand it as a pressing matter. And so if somebody from the community does see them in their neighborhood, they should contact 911 to have the police dispatched. I know it seems a little bit of an unusual step to contact 911 for something like that, but that is the best way to have the police dispatched, specifically in the off hours when we don't have police secretarial staff in the building. So if you see them in your neighborhood or they're knocking on your door and they shouldn't be, please contact us or contact 911. The police can be dispatched, and if they do make contact with these individuals, they are going to take aggressive steps to try to curtail the activity. So we have been getting calls on it. We're trying our best to address it, but right now we're kind of chasing a little bit. So hopefully police can try to remedy the matter
Yeah.
if they can track them down. So that is all. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer, but otherwise, nothing further from the Chief Administrator.
All right, thank you, Mike. That moves us on to community input. Thank you. Nobody signed up tonight for community input, but for the good of the order, is there anyone that would like to say anything? Going once, going twice, okay. That moves us to liaison comments and committee report. Why don't we start down with Michael?
There has not been a Medic One meeting since the last meeting. Their meeting will be coming up before we meet again.
The Parks and Rec Foundation will be meeting this coming May 11th. Just an update on the disc golf course. It will be playable. They're calling for mid-June, so we're very excited about that. The Franklin Regional School Board did meet as of April 27th. The following were approved, a lot of approvals here. The Waterfront Learning Services Agreement, Spring Math, K-5, Allegheny Intermediate Unit K-12, ESL support, supporting English learners. Approval for Chromebook cases, approval for 70 new laptops, replacement exterior lighting controls, PSBA membership agreement, sports medicine contract with AGH, Seton Hill and the IUP affiliation agreement, as well as the Northern Westmoreland Career and Technology Center budget approval, amongst others. Next meeting, Dr. Pirano did mention that they need board approval for personnel, curriculum, capital items, technology, and policy review. That's it.
All right, thank you, Darren. Jamie?
There have been no new meetings since I last reported. May 12th is the next Planning Commission meeting. Library is at the end of the month, and I'll be at that again.
All right, Matt?
EAC met on April 28th, reviewed a draft ordinance around zoning to include items such as data centers and solar farms, conditional permits being used or potentially be used in certain districts, and looking at regulations around beekeeping.
All right, great. Thank you, Matt. The Parks and Recreation meets also next Tuesday, the 12th. So nothing new to report there. All right, that moves us on to workshop items. Nothing under administration, nothing under engineering, nothing under community development or public works and parks. So that moves us to our council action items. The first one is to consider nominations to fill the vacancy that we have on council. So as council president at this time, I'm going to open the floor for nominations from council to nominate to fill this seat.
I will nominate Bill Chazar for the seat on council.
And there is no second needed during the nomination process. So Bill Chazar's been nominated. I will open it up. Any other nominations from anyone on council? All right. At this time, I'm going to close the nominations. Verdell, we're going to take a roll call vote. Your vote will be by stating the name of the nominee of whom your vote's cast.
Mr. Olszewski,
For Bill Chazar, yay.
Mr. Miller,
Bill Chazar? Yay.
Mr. Korn,
Bill Chazar, yay.
Mr. McKenna,
Bill Chazar, yay.
Mrs. Lake.
Bill Chazar.
All right. So the nominee did receive at least 4 affirmative votes, and an appointment is declared. So at this time, if I can have somebody from council make a nomination for 13AI, please.
I will motion for the adoption of resolution number 814-26, appointing Bill Chazar to fill the vacant council seat.
Second.
All right, we'll go Jamie and Darren. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, that motion passes. Mr. Chazar, welcome to the council.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. No, I believe, yeah. Mayor Dice will do the swearing in. Probably it would be at the next meeting.
That's correct, yeah. If Mayor Dice were here, he could be sworn in now and take his
Right.
seat, but unfortunately, he's not able to be sworn in at this time.
Yep. So we will, we'll put that on the agenda and swear Bill in, and he can take his seat at that point. Congratulations again, Bill. Welcome to our council. All right, that moves us on to 13B. Can I get a motion?
Motion to appoint Colleen Gain as Finance Director.
Second.
Thank you, Michael and Jamie. Mike?
Yes, our finance director resigned a few weeks ago. Colleen was the assistant finance director within the municipality. Colleen has quite a bit of experience behind her as a finance director in other municipalities and is a great fit for the municipality to take over the leadership of the finance office. Staff certainly recommends her appointment to the position. Mayor Dice technically makes the appointment of directors, including this position. And speaking with Mayor Dice, he did wish to make this appointment. And under the Murraysville Charter, directors of the departments are appointed by the mayor and with the recommendation of the chief administrator and the advice and consent of council. And so this motion will operate as the consent component for the appointment of Colleen as finance director.
All right, thank you. Any questions from anyone on council in regards?
I'm just gonna say that I worked with Colleen for many years over in Penn Township, and I think she's brings a lot to the table here. I think she's gonna do a great job, and we're very lucky to have somebody in this position to take over, so.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that motion passes. Colleen, thank you and congratulations on the new position. We won't make you give a speech or anything. Okay, that moves us on to 13C. Can I get a motion?
Motion to advertise ordinance number 1112-26, the Code Enforcement Appeals Board.
Second.
All right, Darren and Jamie. Mike?
Yes, so this item is intended to clarify and modernize the structure of the Code Appeals Board for the municipality. This has been a topic of discussion in earlier months because we do have the board, but we don't have the appointments to that board. As we began to work through that process and talking with the solicitor, we recognized that we needed to put a little bit of structure behind this board so that the terms were clearly identified for the appointees. And in conjunction, we also felt that it made sense to combine this appeals board with that of the International Property Maintenance Code Appeals Board. So this board would be a 5-member board serving staggered 5-year terms, and they would hear appeals under both the UCC, the Uniform Construction Code, and also the IPMC, the International Property Maintenance Code. This is just the advertising component. I did speak with the solicitor over the last week or so about this proposed ordinance. Unless the solicitor has anything further to add, this would be the advertisement. We would come back at a subsequent meeting, adopt the ordinance, and then be then able to make appointments to that board so that we can staff it and be prepared for any potential appeals. So I'm not sure if the solicitor would have anything further to add to this agenda item.
Just for council's edification, the municipality basically has 3 separate sections of the code that deal with property maintenance issues. Chapter 174 deals with the property maintenance code. Chapter 96 deals with the Uniform Construction Code, which has adopted the International Property Maintenance Code. Both of those sections provide for the creation of an appeals board. There is a 3rd chapter or ordinance of the municipality. It can be found in Chapter 87 of our code, and that's a provision that deals with dangerous buildings. And Mr. Nestico and I talked at great length about whether we wanted to combine all three of these ordinances into one appeals board, or whether we wanted to exempt out the dangerous building provisions in the case of exigent circumstances, extreme public safety issues like a fire, where a building would be perhaps nearing collapse and things of that sort. In those particular cases, we decided that we would leave those provisions alone. And in dealing with dangerous buildings and structures, the building official for the municipality has the right to come straight to council with such exigent and urgent situations. So we thought that we should have that there for public safety purposes, because with the appeals board, there's going to be another layer of bureaucracy between council and the building official taking action, and we thought maybe that delay in certain circumstances would not be in the community's best interest. So the appeals board is going to be formed for 2 of the 3 types of situations, but with the dangerous building situation, we're going to leave that one alone. That's the recommendation of myself and Mr. Nestico.
All right. Any questions from council in regards to this? I think you spelled it out great, Weston. I think that's probably the right thing to do there. Anyone else have comments, questions? All right. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, that motion passes. That moves us to 13D. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve Keystone Collections as the stormwater fee billing service provider.
Second.
We'll go Michael and Darren. Mike?
Yes, this item and also the next item, 13E, are both items relating to the stormwater fee that was recently implemented by council at the end of last year. Within the last week, the state Supreme Court affirmed a 2023 Commonwealth Court decision regarding stormwater fees in the state of Pennsylvania. By virtue of that decision that was last, I think, Thursday, the 30th, it has caused quite a bit of confusion as to how these fees will be handled within the state, because the decision essentially indicated that they are a tax, not a fee. So, as it relates to item 13D and E, while staff would still recommend council approval of these items, it is very likely that we are going to pause any stormwater fee collection procedures and operations until we get more clarification as to how we can proceed legally based on the new court decision. So council certainly doesn't have to pass this or the next item at this time, because we are not going to be moving forward with any billing until we get clarification. But in order to keep things, I guess, somewhat synchronized and in line, it could make sense to consider approving these, just so that everything has continuity to it regarding the stormwater fee and the process that we've kind of pursued from last year to this time. So it's really up to council, but I would say within the last week, the court decision has kind of thrown a lot of question marks into the equation, and we'll have to do some homework and get some clarification before we would do any billing. So we'll leave that to council, but it could make sense to continue approving this, even though we're kind of at a standstill until further notice.
Okay. So any questions from council for Mike on that?
I guess my initial thought would be, with the approval of Keystone Collections, obviously we did an RFP and got some numbers. If we don't approve, do we know how long those numbers hold? Was there a time frame?
They gave rates for a 3-year window.
Okay.
So I would assume that they would hold through that 3-year period, but
I mean,
I'd have to review the RFP. I apologize.
I mean, looking at the two, I'm looking ahead to the D and E, I look at them slightly differently, because I think if we go ahead with the stormwater fee, based on the numbers we saw, Keystone Collections was clearly the most favorable for a number of reasons. And, I would be comfortable approving that at this time. The stormwater credit manual, I just haven't had a chance to go through it again since the change and see if there's anything that in there that needs to be rethought. I know we put a lot of work into that and felt pretty comfortable with it, but I think for me personally, I would like to reread that with the new legal position in mind. But I would be okay with approving Keystone because, again, it was pretty favorable and I don't want to lose that.
The only question I have about that in continuation is the word fee that's in there. Because if we're approving it as titled stormwater fee billing service, I don't have a problem saying yes to Keystone Collections, but I'm just saying, should that word be removed just for,
I mean, that's just in the motion. I don't think
does
that,
that need to be, it doesn't need to be removed?
I don't think so.
I don't think at this time. At the end of the day, it's, again, the court ruling that it's a tax may have some implication on the overall ability to issue a charge to someone, but I think that the language of the ordinance indicates fee. It can still be, even if it's viewed as a tax, it can still be.
Because the ordinances are already like that.
The ordinance is written that way.
Wes, any thought?
I kind of think that you probably leave it in as a fee because
It's
you
uniform.
certainly can't call it a tax at this point
Right.
in time in light of the Borough of Westchester case. So
Right.
I would probably still call it a fee. Where we
Right.
go from here, we still have to figure out a little bit in light of the decision, which only came down 5 days ago.
Yeah, it's undetermined. Okay, so any other questions from anyone in regards to this? So we'll vote on D and then we'll talk about E. Okay, for D, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that motion passes. That moves us on to 13E. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion, but just so we have it on the table. Motion for adoption of resolution number 818-26, the stormwater credit manual.
Second.
All right, thank you, Michael and Matt. You sort of are. we talked
Sure.
about it a little bit. but-
And in light of the comments, I certainly think council should weigh in. It is, as we've discussed, and in light of the court case, it is not imperative to do this right now at this time. And in fact, it wasn't imperative even without the court decision. This was just kind of moving the process along. So if council feels that a little bit more time is warranted or necessary, that's totally appropriate. And at this time now more than ever, we have time because we still have to do a lot more clarification than just on the manual. So if you want to table this item, you certainly can do that, and we'll go back to the drawing board.
I'm comfortable doing that. If we have one council member, obviously, that wants to reread that. We have a new council member coming on. We have one absent, so,
I'd agree.
I think that
Pause it.
there's no harm in allowing us to wrap our head around it with this being.
I think Mr. Barnes' comments are right on cue.
Yeah.
I think we should take a little bit of time and look
Take a
at that.
breath and look at it. Yeah, because we have to look at it through a different lens now. Okay. Okay, so we're going to table this item. But we need a motion to that.
No, we have a motion on the,
The motion's on the
Motion in
table.
a second, but I'm not sure if you would.
I'll amend my motion to table number 818-26.
I'll second that one then.
All right, so we got Michael and Matt again, and we're going to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that motion passes, so we're going to table 13E for now. That moves us on to 13F. Can I get a motion?
motion to adopt resolution number 817-26, appointing a liaison to Berkheimer for tax collection.
Thank you, Jamie and Matt. Mike?
Again, this item just falls in line with the appointment of the new finance director. The Department of Finance, the resolution amends the listed representatives as the liaison to Berkheimer, and would name the new Director of Finance as that liaison. So that's, this is just kind of a administrative item to update the individual on file with Berkheimer.
Does that motion need to have Colleen's name in it as?
The resolution itself would have that.
Okay.
And that's already built into the
Okay.
resolution, the draft resolution.
So we can just vote on the motion that is out
Yes.
there right now?
Yes.
Any questions about this from anyone on council? All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, that motion passes. That moves us to 13G. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve the disabled veterans real property tax exemption for the property located at 3804 Harwick Court, tax map number 49-10-02-0-019, effective February 25, 2025, and authorizing the exoneration and a refund of 2025 municipal real estate taxes in accordance with PA Code, 43 PA Code, Section 525.
Second.
All right, thank you, Michael and Jamie. Mike, anything on that?
No, this is a matter that's conducted through the Disabled Veterans Real Property Tax Exemption process. This individual did file last year and is seeking, as the motion states, exoneration of the 2025 tax. It's, I believe, in around $473. So that is what this item is for. The individual has to qualify for that exemption through the state, and they did so. So this is typically not a municipal function, but because it's the retroactive application,
Yeah.
that's why it's before the council this evening.
All right. Any questions?
I'll just add that in order to be eligible for this, this individual has been determined to be 100% disabled veteran. So just doing the grace is just pushing back slightly into a period where he was already disabled due to his service.
Any questions from anyone? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that motion passes. That moves us on to 13H.
Motion to advertise the cancellation of the May 19th, 2026 council meeting and to reschedule said meeting to, I believe it's the following day, correct? May 20th, 2026 at 7 p.m. here in the council chambers.
Second.
Thank you, Darren and Jamie. Mike?
Yes, totally up to council as far as the rescheduled date. It would seem to make sense to move it to the following Wednesday, May 20th. If that is the date that is approved by council, staff will advertise public notice of the rescheduling. And again, this is taking place because the May 19th meeting date is also election day, so this room will be occupied and unavailable. So just a small scheduling error. So if May 20th is the scheduled date, we'll advertise that, send it over to the Trib tomorrow.
All right. Any questions from anyone? It makes pretty good sense. Be hard to have a council meeting with a bunch of voting machines in here. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, that motion passes. Nothing community development. That moves us to engineering. We have 15A. Can I get a motion?
Motion to award the contract for DPW-1-26 2026 overlay project in the amount not to exceed $1.5 million.
All right, thank you, Darren and Matt. Mike?
Yes, this item was put out to bid, and they were opened on Wednesday, April 29th. We did receive 3 bids for this project. The low bidder is Derry Construction, $1,092,677, and the bidders have provided all required documentation and bid bond. This was included in the CIP with an approved budget of $1.5 million. Staff is asking council to consider awarding an amount not to exceed the 1.5. Certainly it won't get up to that amount, but if there are any change orders in the contract, I believe the threshold is up to 10% of the total amount. So if there are any change orders, that will be built into this motion by not exceeding that budgeted threshold.
All right. This is one that we do every year, so any questions from anyone? All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, that motion passes. Nothing under Public Works. Any old business? Any new business? Executive session, we had nothing.
No, sir.
Yep. No action items, just one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, thank you, Jamie and Matt. All in favor? Aye. All right, that motion passes, and that closes the meeting. Thank you, everyone.